A woman helped strangers without expecting rewards. She saw the world not as a collection of separate lives, but as a single, interwoven tapestry where a thread pulled in one corner could cause a ripple across the entire fabric. Her name was Clara, and she lived in a small, bustling town nestled in a valley, a place where everyone knew everyone, yet so many felt unseen. Clara's mission, though she never called it that, was to see them. She didn't have much in the way of material wealth. She was a librarian, a custodian of stories, and her salary was modest. But her heart held a fortune in empathy, a currency she spent freely and with genuine joy. Her acts of kindness were never grand, headland-grabbing gestures. They were small, quiet, and consistent, like the steady patter of rain that eventually soaks the earth. She was the one who noticed the elderly Mr. Henderson struggling with his overflowing recycling bin every Tuesday morning, and started quietly taking it to the curb for him before she left for work. He would find it there, perfectly placed, a silent testament to an unseen friend. She was the one who saw a young single mother flustered and on the verge of tears in the grocery store and offered to watch her fussy toddler for a few minutes so she could finish her shopping in peace. She didn't just offer. She knelt, made a silly face, and produced a well-worn, soft-cover picture book from her bag, instantly captivating the child. Clara kept a supply of granola bars and bottled water in her car, not for herself, but for the homeless individuals she'd pass on her commute. She wouldn't just hand them out the window. She'd park, get out, and offer them with a warm smile and a simple, "I hope you have a good day." She learned their names. Robert, who loved to talk about the ships he once built. Maria, who missed the scent of her grandmother's garden. She listened to their stories, giving them the dignity of being heard. In the library, she went beyond just checking out books. She helped a high school student, struggling with dyslexia, find audiobooks and resources that made learning accessible and less intimidating. She patiently taught a group of seniors how to use the public computers, helping them email photos to their grandchildren and navigate the dizzying world of the internet. Each interaction was a small stitch in her grand, unspoken project of human connection. She asked for nothing in return. A simple thank you was a bonus, but the act itself, the momentary closing of a gap between two souls, was her true reward. One day, kindness returned when she needed it most. Life, in its capricious way, decided to test the strength of the woman who had spent years fortifying others. It began subtly, a persistent fatigue she blamed on long hours, a nagging cough she dismissed as a lingering cold. But the fatigue deepened into a profound exhaustion, and the cough settled in her chest like an unwelcome guest. A visit to the doctor led to more tests, and the tests led to a diagnosis that fell like a hammer blow, a rare and aggressive form of lung disease. The world, once a place of opportunity for connection, suddenly shrank to the sterile white walls of a hospital room. The librarian, the keeper of a million stories, found herself trapped in a terrifying new chapter of her own. The treatment was grueling and, most devastatingly, expensive. Her modest savings, a testament to a life of simple living, were a mere drop in the ocean against the tidal wave of medical bills. The hospital was in the city, an hour's drive from her small town, and the specialized care she required meant a long-term stay, far from her books, her home, and her community. Despair, an emotion she had so often helped others fight, began to creep into the corners of her own heart. She felt isolated, a small, forgotten boat, adrift in a vast, indifferent sea. Her friends from the library visited when they could, but the demands of their own lives and the distance made it difficult. The vibrant tapestry she had so carefully tended to seemed to be unraveling, and she was at its fraying edge, alone. It was a quiet Tuesday, the same day Mr. Henderson's recycling had always been her silent task. When the first ripple of her past kindness returned to her shore, the young single mother from the grocery store, whose name was Sarah, had heard about Clara's illness through the town's grapevine. She remembered the woman who had not judged her stress, but had met it with a gentle hand in a picture book. Sarah worked as a freelance graphic designer. She spent all night creating a simple but heartfelt flyer with a picture of Clara, smiling behind her checkout desk at the library. The headline read, "Our librarian needs us." She printed dozens and posted them all over town and the grocery store, the post office, the community center. She also started a small online fundraising page, sharing the story of Clara's quiet, unassuming generosity. The response was immediate and overwhelming. Mr. Henderson, whose son was a successful lawyer in the city, saw the flyer. He called his son, who immediately offered to review all of Clara's medical and insurance paperwork pro bono, untangling the complex legal and financial knots that had seemed so insurmountable. The group of seniors Clara had taught to use computers became her digital army. They shared the fundraising link with a determination and speed that belied their age, sending it to their children, grandchildren, and friends. Across the country, each email accompanied by a personal story of how Clara had helped them connect with the world. The homeless community, whom Clara had always treated with such respect, rallied in their own way. Robert, the shipbuilder, used his skilled hands to carve a beautiful, intricate wooden bird. He gave it to a local news reporter who was covering the community's efforts, telling her she saw us when no one else did. "We don't have money, but we have this." The story of the carved bird, a symbol of freedom for a woman now confined, was broadcast on the evening news, and donations flooded in from across the state. The high school student Clara had helped, now a confident freshman in college, organized a readathon for Clara at the library, with students gathering pledges for every book they read over a weekend. The library, her former workplace, became the vibrant hub of the campaign to save her. It was filled with the very people she had touched, all working together, their combined energy a powerful force against the despair that had threatened her. The funds raised not only covered her mounting medical bills, but also paid for a specialized transport service, allowing her to receive her treatments without the grueling physical toll of travel. Volunteers from the town organized a schedule to stay with her in the city, ensuring she was never alone. They brought her books from the library, read to her, and filled her sterile room with news and stories from home, keeping her tethered to the community she loved. Sarah, the young mother, visited every week, her now toddler son leaving crayon drawings on Clara's bedside table. The tapestry she had woven with such care had not unraveled. Instead, it had transformed into a safety net, catching her when she fell. Lying in her hospital bed, surrounded by cards, flowers, and the constant, loving presence of her community, Clara understood. She had spent her life giving away pieces of her heart, never expecting to see them again. But they had not vanished. They had been planted, like seeds, in the hearts of others. And now, in her time of greatest need, she was standing in the middle of a blooming, beautiful garden. Good deeds never disappear.